name's Joseph. I'm from Texas originally. Moved up to Brooklyn a few years ago. Wanted to do
So I
comedy.
assume
Yeah.
show business brought you to Brooklyn?
Pretty much, yeah. I wanted to do stand-up comedy. Wanted to tell jokes.
Yeah. Can you tell us a joke now?
I'm more of a story guy. I mean, second grade I did wrote my first joke for class and got in trouble for it. It was a man walks into a bar, rubs his forehead, and says, "Where the hell did that come from?"
Yeah.
I thought it was a genius. Turns out that's been done a million times over.
Oh, really? What was your first impressions coming to New York?
Uh, First come to New York, it was I was told that it was an angry city. Like people were just rude and obnoxious, and it's kind of the opposite. It's just that you can't care about this many people at once. Like if you talk to any one person, they're some of the nicest people I've met. My first day here, I was trying to figure out the subway, and this guy just goes, "You look lost. Where are you trying to go to?" And it's like, "Take this train, go to that train. You're gonna be where you need to be." And they just kept on meeting people like that throughout the city.
All New Yorkers or out of towners?
All New Yorkers, so people who have been here their entire lives, and it kind of broke up that idea that it's just a city of cynicism. It's just like, oh no, it's just you have to actually talk with people.
Yeah. Now the South also gets a bad rap.
Oh
Would
yeah,
Would you consider Texas to be part of the South?
parts of it.
Yeah.
I'm from.
Well, Texas gets a bad rap too.
Oh yeah, Texas is an interesting place. Just
Would you say that those stereotypes are true or false?
depends on where you go. If you're out in the boonies, middle of nowhere, definitely got to run into that. But it's. I grew up in a major metropolitan area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So most folks there, it's just like going to any other big city,
Yeah.
except no real public transportation. That's the only big difference.
What do you miss about Dallas?
Well, I grew up in the area and we took out somebody's head over there. I miss all the folks I know. I grew up there, didn't leave there until I was like 24 years old. So it's just like my entire life was around there. The people, the places I knew. I mean, I'm still trying to find good barbecue here. Save my life, can't find any.
Texas Roadhouse won't cut it?
Nah, Texas Roadhouse is.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some guy who has a shack outside a gas station. It's been running for 22
I've
years.
seen those, not here, but like I've seen those elsewhere. At what point does it start going downhill?
When you can't function anymore, you can't function the way that you want to. When like peak of a human life is hard to measure. Like you take a look at my parents. My dad's almost 70 years old. He just found out he loves baking. It's like he's got a whole new thing, and he's been doing that every day for the last couple of months. And it's just like the peak is an indeterminate measurement. I feel like once you're out of sorts entirely, that's when you have your decline.
But wouldn't that already be the bottom though?
There's worse things than the bottom. There's below the bottom, I feel.
Yeah.
Like once things like dementia and stuff like that settle in, it's like you know where you are, but you don't. When you can't move anymore, you're like the people around you either outlive or they don't remember you. I feel like that's when life bottoms out, when it gets to the real valleys.
Do nice guys finish last?
Depends on the context. Like, I mean, financially, more than likely. You have better
Where do you think that
relationships.
term comes from, that phrase?
I mean, not to get political, Donald Trump. He's worth more than probably everyone I'm looking at in this park right now. And he's been a renowned dickhead for like decades.
Yeah. Yeah.
and he seems to be on top of the world.
Okay. So you believe that the world rewards bad people? Is that what
Yeah, it rewards extremely negative behavior, rewards positive behavior. It's not like it's doling out in any particular direction. It just happens.
All right. Now, would you still work if you had a trust fund?
Depends on what I'm working on. I'd probably still be doing stand-up, but not much else. Just enjoying my day-to-day life. Probably get real boring real fast.
If you could redo a part of your life, what would it be?
Probably college. I got accepted to U Chicago's physics program, but couldn't afford it, and then ended up going to a local college and getting a film degree. Some point in there, either going to U Chicago or just dropping out entirely and going straight into film.
So what would you have done? Taken out a loan for U Chicago?
Something along those lines.
Wait, so you would be a physicist by now?
Yeah. Right now, just starting up a doctorate program.
So your strong point is your strength is physics.
I'm good with numbers. That was about. And it's like I like that and like comic books. So.
You were a good student in high school?
Kind
Got
of.
good grades?
I got good grades, but teachers did not like me.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, I was the kid in the back of the class giving them an earful. Like I was a snarky asshole. Still am.
If you were in New York, where would you be?
Back in Texas, doing pretty much the same thing I am right now.
Where were you coming from before you came here to this park?
Down in Greenwich Village, I was checking out comedy clubs, Grizzly Pear, Greenwich Village Comedy Club, seeing if the Lantern was still running. It's now like a place called the Yacht Club. It's someplace I'm gonna have to figure out where everything's happening.
Find anything good?
I'm glad the Grizzly Pear is up and running again, and Greenwich Village is Greenwich Village Comedy Club is doing their thing. Hopefully, be able to start up on the mics over there soon and get recognized again, and pretty much start over Manhattan comedy scene wise.
Oh yeah, so are you known in Texas then?
A little bit. I was doing all right, and it's like about 2 years in, it's like, all right, let's go to New York. We're doing good here. We're getting booked for shows, and then came here, started getting booked for shows. Pandemic hit.
Do you mingle with other comedians?
That's half of being a comic. Like the hang is one of the biggest parts, because then people get to know you. If they're putting on a show, they like you, they put you on it. If there's someone there who you can be friends with, like when you're going out like 6-7 nights a week to tell jokes, these are the people you see every day. Like it's one of the biggest things.
Who are some of the comedians you associate with?
Like ones I enjoy or ones that I know personally?
The ones you enjoy. I mean, not enjoy, the ones you associate with. Like people you talk to, people you network with.
There's guys, smaller time guys in Brooklyn. Got Charles Gruber. Got got a neurotic guy who is the most amazing imp-like creature I've ever seen in my life, named Ben G. You've got guy Jesse, was it Gates or something like that? Giant of a man, been working with Laughing Buddha comedy for years. There's a lot of them. Back in Texas, it's my friends like a guy named Marcus Garvey. There's Tom Murphy, who's just an angry, hilarious drunk man. It's just those guys. It's an eclectic group.
Have you seen those comedians that come around here with the speakerphone? Like 3 of them? They just like walk up to random people and
I've
start
seen
telling
this.
jokes?
I've seen their stuff online, and I mean, I'm glad they're doing it. They seem to be getting some enjoyment and some traction, but I think assault by comedy is not my style.
Oh no, where are you going once you leave this park?
Probably gonna head back home, see if the Tiny Cupboard or any clubs in Brooklyn are doing any shows tonight. Maybe catch some of that, or see if they have an open spot.
So what is your perimeter? Brooklyn and Manhattan?
Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens. Been out to Long Island a couple of times, out in Jersey. Gonna be hitting Boston for like a week next month.
So
Wherever I can go.
you have a large range.
Yeah. Any place that'll have me.
What's going on with the comedy clubs in the pandemic?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Some of them have been operating as restaurants that happen to have a show going on, like an impromptu thing is what they're treating it as. Other ones are doing shows on the streets. I mentioned I'm gonna check out the Tiny Cupboard later. They're doing a show on the rooftop. Then you have the guys who come out to the park and tell jokes.
What's the capacity for the indoors?
Right now, I think it's 50%.
Yeah.
I think up to 100 people.
Hey, bro. Remember us?
Yes, how are you? Good?
Did you drop the video yet?
No, I've been like backed up. I just had to like edit all the videos.
Yeah, he's got
You're the comedian.
weirdos like me sitting down to talk with him.
You said weirdos?
I'm an odd guy. I sat down with a guy who had a sign that said YouTube videos.
We did too.
Yeah.
They did a video. They'll be up like in a few days.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I'm like totally backed up right now. I got stuff from like 2 weeks ago that I haven't even edited.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Because you know, it's just like there's more people doing these videos than I can like really upload and edit because I'm doing it all myself. So sometimes I don't even remember. I honestly I don't even remember doing these guys.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you know the feeling too, right? You're doing these comedy clubs and maybe you don't even remember.
Well, it's like I was trying to remember names. It's like I've met like 150 people in the past 2 weeks. It's like first names.
Yeah.
Crap.
Sometimes I remember where people are from.
Yeah, I can tell you all about the person.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. It's like Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran into a woman that I interviewed like 2 months ago, and I was like, so how is Luis doing? No, Ernesto. No, Armando.
Like I worked in film in Texas, and it's just like I met so many people on different crews. Especially when I first started out, it was just like there's like 1,000 people in 2 months, in every department. It's like I have no idea what anyone's name is unless I look at the call sheet.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Sometimes I remember people, but like other times not. And most of the time not. It's hard to keep track of who's who. I mean, unless there's something like that stands out about them.
Yeah.
You know, like I met this one guy. He grew up in South Africa, so like that's something that I can remember because like he's one of the only people I know that grew up in South Africa.
Yeah, for me, it's just I can remember everything except for a name.
Yeah, I'm the same. Especially if it's a common name.
Yeah.
Like Joe or Bob or whatever it is. Or Bill, you know, those are like Will. Those are names that are very easy to forget. All right, now, can you do a New York accent?
Kind of more the Yiddish accent than the New York accent. You know, I can do a little bit of the Jew voice, but that's about it. Just grew up with that background, so it's like heard a lot of.
What about the Texas accent?
Let's see.
Is there a specific?
Welcome to the Frank King Cadillac dealership in Wakefield. We have all sorts of Cadillacs for all of your Cadillac needs.
Is there like a specific Dallas accent that's different from Houston?
It depends on where you're going in the city. Most people, I'm an aberration. They have almost like a Northeast accent.
Yeah.
Like most folks in Texas have no real discernible accent. It's kind of just like an American accent.
The generic American accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this one guy tell me that I had an East Coast accent. Like, what does an East Coast accent even sound like? Like, South Carolina's East Coast, New York's East Coast. I mean, those accents don't sound anything alike.
I mean, you ever been out in the boonies in Florida?
No, I've only been to Orlando. That's it.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I've been down to South Carolina. I've been down to all over, like Georgia.
There's a definite Texas accent,
Yeah.
especially once you get out of the cities, but most folks just sound like you're from someplace in America, and that's about
not
it.
New York.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people kind of forget that a lot of people in the cities are all going to be very similar. Like
Yeah.
someone from Dallas is going to be very similar to someone from Denver, to Portland, to Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the cities are all going to be like similar. Except, I mean, with the exception of New York and I'm trying to think of any others.
No, it's pretty much,
No.
in my experience, it's pretty much the same kind of folks everywhere.
Yeah. No, Chicago's got a very noticeable accent too. Though.
Yeah, but like there's different accents in different places. Like Denver sounds different than Dallas, but it's not so much that you're going like, you're from here.
Yeah, it's not like Britain where you drive half an hour into a different accent. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Realistically,
Yeah.
somehow getting promoted again at the same restaurant that I'm at, even though I just keep doing the same thing and they keep paying me more money. Either that or all things go well with comedy, which I'm hoping. It's like, all right, I'm doing this as a living now.
What about like marriage, kids, owning a house, anything like that? Or is that
Unless my life goes completely off the rails.
So like being a comedian, does that require you to be on the road a lot?
At a certain point in time, it does. Once you are booking road gigs. Like this year, I'm submitting for NACA, which is like all the events that happen at colleges and things. In which case, it's like they're doing 16 cities in like 6 weeks.
So they are. So you are in the earlier stages
Yeah,
of your career.
I was 2 years in, and then pandemic hit. Yeah. So I got basically here for about 8-9 months. So basically, have to recoup all that lost time.
So how do you network? You just meet other comedians?
We comedians talk to bookers, things like that. Like I'm doing a show on June 5th over at Broadway Comedy Club. But the biggest thing is basically showing that you're funny, and then also having some kind of connection.
Do you record anything to distribute or no?
Never really did up until like the last couple of weeks. I've been building up some videos, posts online, editing, and stitching them together.
Where's that going? YouTube?
YouTube and Instagram.
IGTV?
Honestly, I know so little about Instagram. I have no idea. I'm just gonna post it.
IGTV is anything that's over a minute.
There we
Under
go.
a minute, it's just the regular post.
Yeah, I lost touch somewhere in the last like year and a half with all that. It's just trying to hit shows and then, oh no, the world is over.
Yeah. All right, now what kind of places have you traveled to? States, countries?
Pretty much everywhere north and east of Texas. The
Louisiana?
U.S. Yep. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas, Florida, Carolinas. Haven't made it anywhere north of New York though, so.
What kind of places do you plan on traveling to in the future?
Plan on traveling?
Yeah.
Like to see the West Coast eventually, and make it out of the country one of these days. See Europe, a few different parts of Asia. A lot of it's just wherever life leads me.
You haven't been to Mexico?
No, never had a passport. If you grow up poor, you don't have one of those.
So what was that like growing up?
When I say this, like working class poor, like Payless Shoe Store was where we went to get fancy shoes. Like most of my clothes for a good portion of my life were hand-me-downs.
Walmart?
Walmart was part of my life. I wondered who the vegetables on the shelves were for because we got ours in cans. That kind of stuff.
So have you moved up in this world?
Oh yeah, the whole family has. But like when I was a little kid, it's like two parents, one with only a high school degree, the other one who manages a tobacco shop. There's only so much you can really do, especially at like that age. You have to keep on buying new clothes for them. You have to make sure that they have everything they need for school. You have to feed them. You have to have the house in order, pay your taxes, run cars, all that stuff. And everything adds up. But like I had money to go to college with. I had like my parents helped me get a car when I got out of college. I had no issues with my growing up. It's just you notice the little differences that people have. It's like didn't have a passport. Where'd you go on vacation? To see my grandparents, and that's all we did. Like stuff like that was about as far as we went. The library was my home away from home. Like if a tree needed to be cut down in the yard, there was no calling somebody to do it. It was going out with an axe or like a small chainsaw to go cut it down.
So you were all the do it yourself type.
Yeah.
Which I guess strengthened you for the future.
I never have to worry about anything. Like my first month in New York, I didn't have a bed to sleep on. I was just sleeping on a floor, and it's like, oh no, this is fine.
Because you were already tough.
Not sure if tough is the right word, but
how long you been here again in New York?
moved here June of 2019.
So 2 years.
Thereabouts, yeah.
So you're familiar with the city.
Oh yeah.
What are some good places to film videos like this?
Well, obviously you have here Washington Square Park. There's like Anna Maria up in my neighborhood. I live in Bushwick. You
Said
can,
called Anna Maria?
yeah, it's just a small local park. There's
People willing to open the top?
usually, yeah. I mean, I work in Park Slope, so you have the biggest park in the city over there.
Why is Bushwick so popular? So many people
It's
that I've been
cheap as hell. It was the cheapest place I could afford. It was just like, you mean I have free gas. It's a relatively new building. I have my own room. My own room, and it only costs $700 a month. Like I've got a living space. I have a roof that I can use. And it's not bad for the price.
So you're a satisfied customer.
Yeah. I lived next to a methadone clinic for a year and a homeless encampment later on that same year, so can't complain. Can't complain.
Alright, now what were you doing during the lockdown last year? You were here in New York?
Yeah, I was here in New York.
How did you spend that time when everything was
Playing video games, drinking.
Yeah.
I pretty much just whittled it all down right there.
No online dating?
I mean, what are we gonna do? Have a Zoom call? It's just like there's a loss of connection, I feel. Yeah, I did that. Started writing, submitting some things. Sold a few pieces of copywriting. Didn't do a whole lot for a long time.
Yeah. Because New York was locked down a lot longer than
Everywhere
Texas,
else.
yeah. Texas is one of those anti-lockdown states. How is the pandemic situation over there now? Is it worse than here?
I have no idea, honestly. All I know is that, like, it seems like everything stopped for about 6 weeks there. Then it's like, all right, back to normal, guys. Back to normal. Chop, chop. I
You
mean,
still keep in touch with people from Texas?
oh yeah, I was on the phone with a buddy before I came here. So,
Alright, what kind of questions would you ask if you were doing interviews?
where are you from? How are you doing? What are you doing? The basic ones start out with, like, why are you here? Why are you on camera? Do you have some? All my experience with it has been, you know, run-the-mill questions. It's what they say to those that I feel like can lead into bigger and better questions. The couple of times I've worked on podcasts and stuff, it always seems to be that's the lead up. Just like, how's it going, man? Either that, or it's just like you see what they have to say. Like, say anything, and just like, oh, we'll roll with that.
Now we've gone for 27 minutes now.
Yeah, we have.
A lot of people, when they come up to me, they say, "What's this for?" Now, how would you answer that question, having done 27 minutes of this?
I like talking with people,
Yeah.
and I like sharing those conversations.
Because people always think like I have to have a reason or a purpose to make these videos, and I really don't.
I mean, do you enjoy making the videos?
Yeah.
Okay, there's your reason. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's just the question. Why are you doing anything? It's like, why not?
Yeah.
Someone gets 5 seconds of
when
joy.
I hear what's this for, it almost sounds like they wanted me to say, yeah, I'm going to submit this to American Idol. So that's what it's for. So they want a reason. And I don't really have one.
You don't need a reason to do anything as long as it's like not actively harming anyone. It's just like, oh no, I thought this was cool. That was fun. Thought it was neat.
Honestly, I'm just curious about some things, these kinds of things,
Yeah.
and I think other people are too. So, it's like if I was a consumer of videos, I would want to watch them.
I mean, like, do you remember I don't know if it's still going, I imagine, is People in New York?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
I remember finding it on Facebook probably close to a decade ago or something. And it's like, oh, this is neat. And it's just a guy talking with people. It's like, that's really all it is. And he's taking a photograph of them. And
Oh, it's a photo?
it's one photo and like some text about the people like he's asking questions.
Yeah. But people these days, they ain't trying to read.
Yeah,
They'll watch a video, but they don't
chop
read.
chop.
Alright, now, do you make videos? You say you do make videos, right?
On and off. Mostly work on the production end. I've done a few ads where you can't tell who I am. There's one floating around the internet with me dressed in a Santa costume for a like outdoor mini mall in Plano, Texas. Not too much otherwise.
Hey y'all, good night tonight for y'all. This is what's displayed. All type of stuff.
What kind of advice you got for post-production?
Post-production, if you don't know what you're doing, there's 100 YouTube videos and even more written tutorials on it. The only thing you ever have to worry about is how to describe what you want to do. Usually anything I needed to learn, it was either YouTube or I posted up on Reddit.
So that's how you learn.
Yeah, I went through 3.5 years of college and learned everything I needed to know from every place except for the college.
So you're self-taught.
I think everyone in the program I went through is self-taught.
Do you have any advice for young people?
I mean, it's gonna sound cliche, but just do your thing. Whatever that is, whatever makes you happy and doesn't mess with other people too much, do that thing, and either it'll be a great hobby to have, or heck, you can make it into a career.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
First wish is a lot more wishes. Second wish is to have just have like enough good days that they outweigh the bad. Just in general, it's like enough bad days I can still appreciate the good. And last one, bring back Bill Hicks. I just want to see his reaction to Alex Jones.
Now, they always say be yourself.
Yeah,
What about if I have a lot of personality flaws? Should I still be myself?
they're gonna show through either way. Everyone puts on a face, a mask, however you want to put it, for any situation. I mean, right now, I'm talking to a random guy on a bench and to his camera phone. Like, is any of this real? Is it all facade, all that? Like, I go to work every day, and I don't know how many times I say, I hope you have a great day.
But you don't
Like,
mean it.
no one in retail means it unless you're a genuinely nice person. 90% plus people either doesn't matter either way, or they're just terrible. There's like 10% who like go out of their way to make your day as much delight as you try to do for them.
Or when people ask you how are you, people almost universally say good, regardless of whether
Oh, yeah.
they're good.
That's because no one wants to lay their no one wants to lay their losses on the table. No one who goes to like a casino never says I lost. They say I'll be back again.
I think people tend to say one thing and do another.
Yeah.
Because, you know, not only is it this be yourself kind of theory, but also one of the questions I ask is how do you know people are crazy? And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't judge people because they're crazy. But at the
That's
same
ridiculous.
time, I know a lot of these people are judging people who are crazy.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of crazy people here in this park, and let me see one of those crazy guys come up to you and you not judge him, or you not try to run away from him or avoid him.
No, you judge everyone. Whether or not it's like, don't judge people.
Yeah.
I saw a guy, once again, going back to this, I saw a guy with a sign, and it's just like, what's the worst case scenario? Films me, kidnaps me, I end up living in a basement with a radiator as my only companion because I'm chained to it. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, but who knows where the night may lead. Everyone is crazy. Everyone is weird or different. There are people skateboarding around like toddlers here. That's crazy. Who said this is a good idea? Game changers?
Yeah.
I mean, went to school for film. I worked in food, ended up managing a restaurant until the like 90-hour work weeks wore me down, and like my body was starting to just shut down on me. Put in my 2 weeks notice. A week after that, I ended up working in film, and then stumbled into an open mic. They gave me 3 minutes. I got a laugh, and it's like, all right, I'm doing this. So all in a very short period of time.
Now, you said you were a manager. You consider yourself to be a leader?
I wouldn't say so. That's not what leaders say.
What are some things you need to be a manager?
You have to be able to, basically, you just have to be able to convince people that what they're working for is worth their time. That's one of the biggest things, because, in my case, I was managing a restaurant, which most of it is dealing with irate customers, setting up orders, and hiring, firing, and maintaining staff. Which basically means most of my job is making people happy, logistics, and making sure the people who work around me are able to do their job and they want to come back in tomorrow.
How do you decide to fire someone?
Well, in my case, I only fired 2 people. One of them came in drunk and vomited on a table, so that's a good indicator.
Yeah.
And the other time, they just didn't show up for 3 days. So
you're pretty lenient.
I wouldn't say lenient. I fired those folks, but it's like I don't know. There's a lot of different reasons to fire people, but
A lot of people now are doing DNA tests and trying to trace their ancestry as far back as possible. How important is that?
I mean, like for health concerns, it's one thing, but
For genealogy?
I mean, for me, it's like, all right, one side of my family, most of them died in Russian gulags or the Holocaust. And the other side, they were basically forced out of Ireland and Czechoslovakia. That seems like real exciting stuff.
Or no, what motivates you in life?
Boredom.
What apps do you use?
What apps do I use? Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Do crossword puzzles on my phone because I'm secretly 78 years old. HBO. I don't know.
Can you say anything in a foreign language?
Jak se más, spreche Deutsch kleiner, no habla español, donde está el baño? Chinga tu madre.
That's about it.
I worked in kitchens for a while. You hear it every now and then.
Okay, now, I heard that mommy was bad too. I interviewed 2 Hispanics yesterday. And they told me don't be saying that.
I mean, my favorite one, just because it rolls off the tongue so well, is pinche punta, just because it's got that alliteration in it.
Yes.
It's so nice, cursing in other languages.
Can you do any impersonations?
Not really, no.
How do you know you can trust a business?
Other people have been there, they say it's good.
Word of mouth?
Pretty much.
Nature versus nurture, what's more important? Do you believe that if I was raised in a nice family that I would turn out better than if I was raised in a broken home?
Probably big factor. I mean,
for you, I think if you had the money, you would have went to the University of Chicago.
yeah, but the thing
That's
is,
the nurture part.
yeah, but the thing is that I had a great family. Like, talking the whole comedy thing, usually mom, dad, or both is just an awful human being. Not for me, it's just like, oh no, I talk with my parents at least once a week. They're delightful people to be around. My brother is wonderful. All a pain in my ass, but I love him.
Okay, what is your biggest accomplishment in life?
That's a really good question. Probably show that I did it with like 500 people in the audience, and
Where was
I
that?
killed this out in Texas. This club called Hyenas. It was one of the last times I was on stage. Just happened to be completely filled, and like Dak Prescott from the Cowboys was there. It's just like it was an open mic, and it's just like, crap, I can't believe I did that.
Wait, do you have a stage name or do you just use your real name?
I use my real name.
Wait, what is your real name?
Joseph. Don't really put my last name on too much stuff on like YouTube and things.
So they just introduce you as Joseph as a comedy person?
Joseph, and then they attempt my last name.
What do you want to name this video?
Found some guy in the park who would sit down for like what, an hour?
Is it easier to be a man or a woman?
Where are we talking? When are we talking? Because 99% of the time it's a man.
Why do you say that?
I don't feel threatened going to the subway late at night. Like, I'm not talking there's anyone crazy there. I just don't feel that. Like, a lot of the issues that women have to deal with, I don't have to deal with. I mean, once a month their body just says, hey, you're having a kid? No. Suffer. Alright.
What percentage of people do you believe are good at that?
Maybe like 10% that are good, 10% are bad, and everyone else just falls in between.
No. Oftentimes when I was at Walmart, people ask me, do you work here? If I'm most frequently mistaken for a Walmart employee, what are you most frequently mistaken for?
Today, a Target employee, but the best one I had most often is somebody who knows what they're doing. In any given scenario, people assume I am an authority figure who I am not.
So changing your oil or anything like that?
I come off as a guy who can do that. Like when I first came to New York, I was doing ticket barking for a club, and I'd been here for almost 2 weeks, and people were asking me, "Hey, do you know where this is? Do you know where that is? Are you part of like this group over here?" And I was just like,
so you look local?
I look like I belong wherever I'm at, just like.
I'm like the opposite of that. People always think I'm a tourist no matter where I go.
I just have the general, like, he looks vaguely Irish and he sounds vaguely ethnic. So he's from somewhere and he seems to be comfortable.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, you don't have to get robbed as much because of that. Have you had those guys with the CD? Had you a CD yet?
Funny story with that, I was rushing to a club to go to a mic, and there's just this guy just handing out CDs. Doesn't even occur to me, it's just like, yeah, have this, and it's just like, I take it and I keep on like jogging down the street, and it's just like, he's shouting after me, and it's,
He wants money.
yeah, I had no idea what was happening at the time. I did not care. I needed to be someplace, and it's just like, he stretched out his arm right in front of me, and it's just like, down the street. Probably still hates me.
Yeah, those guys are out for money.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just like, you know that part of your brain that does not function when you have to do something.
So you outran him.
I was already going, and there was like a crowd of people, so it's just like,
Yeah.
what's he gonna do? I'm looking for
What would you do with the CD? Did you actually listen to it?
No, the year is 2021.
Yes.
Do you have a CD player?
Right.
Give me an MP3, I could have done something with it. Shoot me an email, man. give me a sticker with a QR code so I can scan it,
Yeah.
get it on my phone, pay you $5.
Yeah, he's not keeping up with the times. Alright, now, do you want to plug any of your social media?
Nah. I just did this for a lark.
Okay. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
You're doing stuff.
Thank you.
Like this is nice. It's a little bit of human connection, just a random thing out in the middle of nowhere.
It is actually human connection because then when somebody watches this video, they can connect to you like by watching the video,
Yeah.
right? They'll know you better than the average person who sees you on the street here all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody can see you potentially in New York City for 10, 20 times and not know a single thing about you. Meanwhile, somebody in Latvia can watch this video and be like, okay, so that's what Joseph's all about. Those are the things that you do.
Yeah.
Do I have permission to put this on the internet? Thank you.
Maybe.